Hi, and welcome back. Today we're going to go over some very important tools you can start using, life lessons that I've learned over my 30 years of being on a spiritual path and growing and learning, and what I wish I would have known sooner and discovered on my journey to help you on yours. So let's just start right away with number one. We can be way too hard on ourselves. Life is hard. We don't need to be any harder on ourselves than life already throws at us. I mean, sometimes this world feels like hell on earth and we want it to be heaven on earth. So lighten up with yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. As humans, we all make mistakes. So forgiving yourself and not being too hard on yourself is number one. Try to remember that. We all make mistakes. And a lot of us, most of us, are way too hard on ourselves until we learn that as humans, we're all the same. And what really matters is we forgive ourselves. Others may not forgive you. Again, don't worry about that. I've made a video about that. Forgive yourself. I've gotten to practice this one. In my life, I've made plenty of mistakes. Humiliating, so embarrassing. It's taken me to my knees. And then I realized on this journey, it's what my soul needed to go through to learn what I needed to learn in this life to overcome. And when I found that peace and forgave myself, I could reach out to those people. Because if we're hard on ourselves or made mistakes, it's usually with somebody else, right? And I apologized and I asked for forgiveness. Don't worry about how the other person responds. That's a big life lesson. Some of these people ignored me. Some received me but didn't say much, and some still held a grudge. It doesn't matter. That is about them. What matters is that I love and forgive myself for all the mistakes I've made because I know God does. And I know as humans, it's so cool when spiritual teachings land. Every saint was once a sinner. What does that tell you? You're not bad. You're not wrong. Please don't be so hard on yourself. The important thing is to love and forgive yourself and realize we all come in with something to learn, and learning the lesson will help you forgive yourself and your mistakes. All right, so let's go to number two. Believing in yourself is the most important thing I think we can do in life. I have really played with this. There are times in life you're going to believe in yourself more than others. That is so normal because our mood is changing, right? Sometimes I feel so connected with myself that I can do and be whatever I want. And other times I'm back down in the ego, struggling, feeling very separate from who I really believe I want to be or who I am and what it is that I want. And then that feels awful. So when we don't feel good and we're not believing in ourselves, just remember you're moving away from how the divine and God see yourself, your true highest nature. And that's okay too. Again, don't be too hard on yourself. We all go through moods. We're not always flying high and connected all the time. Our belief in ourselves ebbs and flows. The important thing is to keep working on it and don't give up on yourself. Because the more you do it, the more it starts to stick. So when I have my low moments now, or I don't believe in myself, they're much shorter than they used to be. I can get reconnected to myself. Or like yesterday, I did not feel good. And I was like, whoa, I haven't felt this low in a while. But it wasn't too low, not like it used to be at the height of my trauma and pain before I worked on it. And it didn't last as long as they did before. It might have been a few hours instead of a few days. So your belief in yourself ebbs and flows. The important thing is to keep remembering to work on it. Even when you are feeling low, know that it will pass. And then remember to bring yourself back up as the energy shifts or your environment shifts or the day shifts or you interrupt that pattern. And start saying nice things to yourself again, like, I do believe in myself. I play this little trick. We are all one. Not one human being is better or worse than anybody else. We come from the same place where these little, the sperm and the egg come together and the soul comes in and we're a human. Not one person is better than another. All that really matters, what makes somebody greater or more successful or happier than another, is their belief in themselves. So just start saying, I believe in who I was born to be. That's really key. All right, let's move on to number 3. Do not compete. I hear my son yelling for me. Hold on, I'm not going to edit this. I'll be right there, Tucker. I'm in the office working. Sorry. Don't compare yourself and don't compete. That is a big one. So if you need to take a break at looking at what others do, do it and trust in your own talent and your own heart. Do not compare yourself and don't compete with others. It's the biggest waste of time. I don't have a whole lot to say on that because it's just something you don't want to do. Everybody's on their own journey. If you get inspired, go with it, but be careful of not following somebody too much that you start feeling less than and that they're in such a better place. Don't do that. Remember, everyone starts somewhere. Okay. And number 4, have a spiritual routine. Every morning, every evening, take 5 minutes to have some sort of spiritual reading, affirmation, prayer, meditation, breath, something that starts to build those neural pathways in your heart and your nervous system of deep connection. And then number 5, follow your heart and you will always feel better. It's crazy how simple that is. Your heart knows your truth. That's why spiritual routine is so important, because you need to be able to listen to your heart. If you're always distracted by the noise in the world, you're not going to be able to listen to you. Your heart has neurons in it, just like your brain, just like your gut. Your instincts and your heart know what excites you. Like every time I go back to some of the things that really excite me, like filmmaking. I used to live in Hollywood and I did some work in production and I did some acting and I've done commercials up in the Bay Area, and I loved being on set. I loved working in front of the camera, behind it, script writing, stories. I come alive. When I meditate and I start to get in my head about all the other things that I'm doing or what I should do, my heart always reminds me of what I love. I love writing books. I love making videos to share. I love making films. I love acting. I love all that. I come alive. So find what makes you come alive. Don't edit yourself. Don't bring in the critic too soon. It's called the Disney method. Walt Disney created Disneyland from a dream. If you bring in the critic, we might have a lot less rides at Disneyland. Walt Disney showed you dream, you create the vision, bring in the critic and the editor much, much later. First dream, find your passion. What is your heart telling you you love? It doesn't matter what happens on the physical world. It matters what you feel and see and believe in your internal state. Because remember, the destination isn't the happiness, it is the journey. Your journey is your happiness, not the end. So that's really what I wanted to end this video with. Sorry I wrapped it up and making it a little bit quicker because my 4-year-old is calling for me. It's dinner time where I am in California. Wherever you are in the world, I hope these tips help for today. Please leave comments and ask for any other video topics you want me to make, and I'll keep going. And please hit the subscribe button so that I can keep making these videos. Thanks again for always being with me. See you in the next one.